Hello everyone, this is ACHAI Akaya, and we are on Wacky Wednesday number 5, and unfortunately I didn't get any team games that followed the Wacky Wednesday situation that I was trying to outline for you guys last week as far as the mono battle withdrawing the random units, but I did get some pretty interesting replays of 1v1 games, and one of them was from iamjacksguns here. You've seen him before. He is actually a platinum level player now. He has worked his way all the way up from, I think he was initially in bronze, so learning a lot about the game and doing a lot better at it. So obviously platinum is not the highest level you can get, so he's still learning a lot about the game and still improving all the time. But he did come up with a rather interesting PvP strategy that he sent to me, and I wanted to go ahead and do this for Wacky Wednesday because it was pretty creative. And I'm not sure if this would work on the higher diamond levels. I've never really seen anybody attempt anything like this at the higher levels, but it's definitely an interesting thought. And what we're going to see here is a bit of a gas steal. Initially, he's going to steal both gases. That's why he's got 2 probes going down. And you may say, why 2 probes? Why not just use 1 probe to do each? And the reason being is that if you steal 1 gas, obviously these 2 geysers are pretty far apart. So if he sees you steal the 1 gas and thinks you're going to steal the other one, he can throw down his assimilator really early. But as you can see, with 1 going to each assimilator, he puts them down about the same time, and then there's nothing that blue can do about it. Now what he's going to do after that is immediately back out to the front of his base here, and he is actually going to be sending 1 probe down here to the ramp to keep an eye out, and he's going to be sending another probe over here, and we'll see exactly what those are for here in a second. Now, iamjacksguns is playing against, oh yeah! So he is another Protoss player on BattleNet, and he sees the double gas steal and says, oh crap, I better put down another gateway. So immediately throwing down that second gateway. Meanwhile, back at iamjacksguns base, you can see he only has 1 pylon up, just now getting ready to put down his gateway, and he's actually going to go ahead and put that right at the entrance so that he can use it as part of a wall off in order to block any kind of early zealot build, because that's all that we can see from our blue Protoss at this point. Now, there are a number of different ways that this can be dealt with. I'm not really going to go over any of those because I am not a Protoss player, and I'm sure that you guys out there who are good Protoss players could actually come up with better ways to take this on than I could. But he's doing something that I would think is a pretty standard response as he's trying to get zealots out, letting himself get supply blocked a little bit there. Again, this is gold level, platinum level play, so obviously some mistakes being made, but cranking out those zealots, chrono boosting them out as quick as he can. He really probably should be attacking one of these assimilators already, and actually, as I said, that he is going to go up there and attack. Meanwhile, taking a look at what iamjacksguns is continuing to do, he has a probe over here behind this line of sight blockers building a proxy pylon. He's going to hide some tech there a little bit later, and back at the entrance you can see he has got 1 probe right at the main entrance here, so he can see when the zealot push moves out, because when you block both gases like that, you're either going to see a fast expand or you're going to see a super aggressive zealot push not long after that. And as you can see, he's just continuing to crank out zealots, taking out one of the geysers and going to be going after that second one shortly. This probe, of course, is going to give him plenty of notice. Meanwhile, there is a cyber core going up, and he does have his forge up and running. Now, what iamjacksguns can do, now that he has this forge up, is he's going to use this forge in order to, A, complete this wall off. As you can see, there's only a really small gap here between these 2 buildings, so that is going to act as a very tight funnel for those zealots when they come up. And then the other thing that it's going to do is allow him, see, as you can see, he sees right now with his probe that these zealots are moving out. There's a total of 6 zealots here. So what he's going to do immediately is throw down a couple cannons here. So finishing that wall off with the cannon, that cannon can only be hit through this narrow chokeway. So basically only 1 zealot's going to be able to hammer on that, and they're going to have to take down either a gateway or a forge in order to get to those cannons behind that wall. Meanwhile, he is building a Stargate at the proxy pylon. Oh yes, so good. Hiding the proxy pylon, the blue Protoss, oh yeah, did not check for it. So he is going to just go ahead and move out and try to push into iamjacksguns base. And of course, having scouted when the blue Protoss moved out, he gets the cannons up just in time. And as you can see, the forge going down pretty quickly to all these zealots. And unfortunately, not all the zealots are actually able to get surface area to take those on. And he's throwing down a 3rd cannon as well. Now, they are going to take down the forge and move in here, but it looks like once he gets in here, he's still going to have to deal with all these probes. And meanwhile, the first Void Ray is nearly finished building, and it looks like he is trying to run some probes over here. Going to have to kind of divide his attention, multitasking here. Very important to be able to take both of these situations at once. And one of those zealots getting a little careless, getting taken down by the cannon, and meanwhile the other zealot taking down a handful of probes while he tries to take down, or while the probes try to take him down rather. And here comes the Void Ray getting in the mix now. He's actually going to come right in here and go straight for the pylon here. There he goes. All right, straight for the pylon here, taking out the gateway. He does see that there's a cyber core with warp gates researching, but he is going to get that pylon down before the stalker can finish. Although unfortunately for iamjacksguns, this one is still powered by the other pylon, but he's going to go for that pylon as well. One stalker will get out just barely in time, but it looks like iamjacksguns is going to be able to take that down since his Void Ray is fully charged. So anyways, just to recap this cheesy build that we saw here from iamjacksguns, like I said, this is kind of creative. I've never really seen anybody do this type of Void Ray rush. Obviously, Void Ray rush is very common in a variety of fashions, but this particular type of Void Ray rush intrigued me just because I've never seen anybody do it quite like this, where basically what he did was sent 2 probes down so he could steal both gases simultaneously. This of course forced into a plethora of zealots early on because he had to take down those assimilators before getting any gas, which means no stalkers, means no warp gates. So basically he was stuck either going for a fast expansion out here or getting a ton of zealots for some aggression. And he went for the zealots, and after he got all those zealots up, of course iamjacksguns left that probe down here right at the bottom of the ramp so that he could tell exactly when his opponent was moving out. And as soon as he saw his opponent move out, you saw him put up these defensive cannons up here on the ramp, which really allowed him to hold off a lot more zealots than he would have been able to deal with had he just tried to build units to defend. And of course, the key crucial part of this whole thing, all of that was merely a delay tactic and a distraction so that he could get up this proxy Stargate and rush out one Void Ray. So very creative play here from iamjacksguns. Thank you for sending that replay in. Big shout out to him. And thanks for watching, guys. I am not going to instantiate any kind of Wacky Wednesday rules for next week. If you guys have creative strategies like this, rush strategies, or anything kind of out there crazy that nobody has really seen yet, I would love to see those replays. Feel free to send them in. You can email them to akaya.sebg@gmail.com. And of course, if you guys are looking for other ways to keep up with me, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook, and I'm going to have the links to those on my main page and in the description for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. GG.